So hopefully you can hear me. You might not be able to once we get spraying, so I got to keep the RPMs up. But we're getting back here now. We got our stuff sloshing around in the tank. Agitator's on, obviously. And looks like I've got some vehicles in my way. That's going to be fun. Well, yeah, this should have been sprayed a long time ago. I have got so much grass out there. It looks like a really healthy hayfield to me. But you can see the beans, they're there. They're plenty good. A couple thin spots. But to be honest, there's a couple goats over in that pen, and I think they've been grazing a little bit, needless to say. But, yep, this is what it looks like. I'm going to keep this one short. I might just tack this onto the setting up the sprayer video. I'm pretty well disgusted with how many weeds are in here, even though it's just grass. I mean, I see a couple ragweeds, and I know there's morning glory out there, but I'm just, you know, with the weather keeping me from spraying and it looking like this, man, oh man. So I'll do a recap video here in a week to 10 days, and then it'll look like a dead field with all the dead grass that's going to be in it. Anyways, after doing a whole bunch of figure eights, just kidding, it's sprayed. As you can see, it was still plenty wet. I did look, most of the material that's on my tires is grass, and there's a ragweed. So, yeah, there's a bean plant, oops. It happens. It sucks. What really sucks about it being wet, soybean farmer posted a video not that long ago talking about if the soil is moist when you drive over the beans, it's like they stick. They stick to the ground, and then they have a hard time coming back up. It's supposed to really dry out tomorrow. Today it was 90, like 50% humidity or less. And that's the only reason why it's as dry as it is. Because the problem is, I had a lady asking me about hay, and I told her, I said, you know, I said, just because the weather's right for the grass to dry doesn't mean the ground's not so waterlogged that I'm not going to be making ruts. And I actually did cut down in there where there's a wet spot. If you watch my other videos, I think I talk about that. That corner was dry. That super surprised me, but I also didn't plant that corner. I left the L-shaped headlands around the field like that. So anyways, this video got kind of jumbled up. I'll probably put this part of the video before the ending, if that makes any sense at all, because I wasn't going to do any videoing of me spraying, and I didn't do any of me actually spraying because my rate was a little off. I didn't want to wind the tractor out and get too much speed just to maintain the 40 psi. And it's all honestly because my TA's out. So when I look at the gauge and it says 6 miles an hour and high second, I'm actually only going like 4 miles an hour because I'm in low side of the TA. So yeah, I would have picked a different gear and went into high side to maintain the 40 psi and 6 miles an hour. But I kind of had to work with what I had. It was about 30, 35 psi. I did have a little extra spray, which I usually do. I'd rather have extra than run out, because I would rather run over a few more beans emptying my sprayer than not have enough spray. And I'll tell you that, last year I had a strip over there, and then that whole, well, I had a whole swipe that didn't get sprayed, and it was overrun with grass. When I harvested it, it was like I was combining hay, you know, or straw, whatever, dead stuff at the end of the year. So yeah, I'd rather run over a few more beans to empty the tank out than run out. And so all I did is I made 2 rounds, 2 passes close together to make sure I wasn't left with teardrops from going like this, and then started going back and forth. And then when I was done with that, I came through and made a pass on the up here, and then a pass down there, and then I did one more pass, just running it out up the middle, where last year there was this is actually 2 separate fields, and there was a path, because the landowner wanted to be able to get to the back where that hole is. There's a nice little picnic area back there. But yeah, this time they said, well, just go through if it's easier and make it one big field instead of having to work it twice, you know, which is fine. But the grass is like crazy thick through the middle. I mean, you can even see that little hump right there. Well, it's gonna want to focus on my finger. Anyways, right there, yeah, that is actually grass that's so tall my sprayer was dragging it. So if your sprayer tip is in the grass, obviously it's not going to cover the whole plant. So I went over it twice, that section. Anyways, long-winded, I apologize. There's the little baby goats, and it's a really nice place back here. These are great people. Little baby goats and chickens. But anyways, if you watch to the end, I appreciate it. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. There's my shadow standing on top of my tractor with my goofy muffler behind me. Yeah, and subscribe if you want to see more. I know there was a guy who commented on some of my videos and said that he's glad he found my channel and he really enjoys it. And that's what I'm here to do, is to spread what we're doing. You know, startup farmers, and I have zero experience. Second time I've ever sprayed beans, right there. And you guys will get to see me cut 72 acres worth of hay and harvest these beans. I won't spray them again, obviously. They're just, I mean, you can see how tall they are. They're way past spray point. But anyways, I'll go ahead and quit yammering. Thanks, guys.